I have to admit, I have a pretty nice place here. Come on, let's go inside.
I'm paralyzed with happiness. Oh, Nick, it's wonderful to see you. Our people back home, do they miss me?
The whole town is desolate.
How gorgeous. Let's go back to Chicago, Tom, tomorrow. Nick, you ought to see the baby. She's asleep. She's 3 years old. Haven't you ever seen her? You ought to see her. How long are you staying?
Till I make my fortune?
Tom will help you, won't you, darling?
What do you do, Nick?
I'm a bondman.
You will be as rich as Midas one day. You'll help him, won't you, Tom?
Who are you with?
Probity International.
Huh, never heard of them. Probably some two-bit operation. But don't let my opinion on these matters be final. Just because I'm bigger, stronger, and more of a man than you are. Did I really just say that?
No, in truth, he didn't. I may be taking a bit of poetic license, but it is the sort of thing you might say.
Fair enough. Well, I've definitely thought it once or twice.
I am stiff. I've been lying on that sofa for as long as I can remember.
Don't look at me. I've been trying to get you to New York all afternoon.
Oh, no thanks. I'm in training.
Nick Carraway, Miss Jordan Baker. Nick is my cousin.
Second cousin, what's removed?
He and Tom graduated Yale together. Nick, I've been telling Jordan all about you.
You live in West A. You must know Gatsby.
Gatsby? What Gatsby? Oh, look. In 2 weeks, it'll be the longest day of the year. You always watch for the longest day of the year and then miss it? You always watch for the longest day of the year and then miss it. What will we plan? What do people plan? My finger is black and blue. You heard it, Tom. I know you didn't mean to do it, but you did do it. That's what I get for marrying a brute of a man. A great big hulking physical specimen of a man.
I told you I hate that word, hulking, even in kidding.
Hulking, 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 hulking. Jordan is just back from Paris. She was in Paris to see the new Henri Matisse exhibit. I adore him, but Jordan thinks he's too traditional. You prefer Pablo Picasso, but he's much too wild and unconventional.
Pablo Picasso can be wild and unconventional with me anytime.
Jordan?
Civilization's going to pieces. I've become terribly pessimistic about these things. No one's talking about it, but we need to look out for the white race. We're under siege and no one knows it.
Tom is getting very profound. He reads deep books with long words in them. I love seeing you in my house, Nick. You remind me of a rose, an absolute rose. Doesn't he? An absolute rose?
This was untrue. I'm not even faintly like a rose.
Shh, don't talk. I want to hear what's happening.
Is something happening?
You mean you don't know? I thought everyone knew.
I don't.
Why, Tom's got some woman in New York. She might have the decency not to call during the cocktail hour, don't you think?
It couldn't be helped. I went outdoors for a moment, and it's very romantic outdoors. There's a bird on the lawn that must be a nightingale. Come over on the White Star Line from England, singing away. It's romantic, isn't it, Tom?
Very romantic.
Oh,
I
please
should
don't-
get going.
Please don't go, Tom.
To certain temperament, the whole situation might seem intriguing. My own instinct was to telephone immediately for the police. Later that night, I was able to spend some time alone with Daisy. I saw that turbulent emotions possessed her, so I asked her what I thought might be some sedative questions about her little girl. Are you planning on staying in the East?
This is a permanent move. We hated France. We've just been drifting endlessly. Parties and yachts and hulking men hitting wooden balls with mallets. We don't know each other very well, Nick, even though we are cousins. You didn't come to my wedding.
I wasn't back from the war.
Oh, well, that's true. The war did take a lot of young men away. Well, listen, Nick, I've had a very bad time of things, and I'm pretty cynical about everything.
I suppose your daughter talks and eats and everything?
Oh, yes. Listen, Nick, let me tell you what I said when she was born. Would you like to hear? It'll show you how I've come to feel about things. Well, she was barely an hour old, and Tom was God knows where. I woke up out of the ether with an utterly abandoned feeling, and I asked the nurse right away whether it was a boy or a girl. She told me it was a girl, and so I turned my head away and wept. All right, I said. I'm glad it's a girl, and I hope she'll be a fool, because that's the best thing a girl can be in this world, is a beautiful little fool. You see, I think everything's terrible anyhow. Everybody thinks so. The most advanced people, and I ought to know. I have been everywhere and seen everything and done everything. Sophisticated. God, I am so sophisticated.
10 o'clock. Time for this good girl to go to bed.
Jordan is from Louisville. We spent our girlhood there together, our beautiful girlhood. Jordan is going to play in the tournament tomorrow over at Westchester.
Oh, you're Jordan Baker, the golfer. I knew you were familiar.
Good night. Wake me at 8.
If you'll get up.
I will. Good night, Mr. Carraway. I'll see you anon.
Why, of course you will. In fact, I think I'll arrange a marriage.
Oh.
Come on over often, Nick, and I'll sort of fling you together, lock you up accidentally in linen closets and push you out to sea in a boat and all that sort of thing.
Good night. I haven't heard a thing.
You know, she's a nice girl, but her family oughtn't let her run around the country that way.
Her family is one aunt, about 1,000 years old. And besides, Nick is going to look after her, aren't you? She's going to be here lots of weekends this summer. I think the home influence would be very good on her. Oh, wait. We forgot to ask you something, and it's important. We heard you were engaged to a girl out west.
That's libel. I'm too poor.
Well, we heard it. We heard it from 3 people, so it must be true.
Now I really must go. I've got to earn a living with the rest of the poor souls of this world.
Good night, my sweet one, my dear sweet Nick. Good night. Good night.
Honestly, that gossip is one of the reasons why I moved east. I've no intention of being rumored into marriage. Well, thanks for a lovely evening. I was confused and a little disgusted. It seemed to me the thing for Daisy to do was to rush out of the house, child in arms. Apparently, she had no such intentions in her head. As for Tom, the fact that he had a woman in New York was less surprising than that he actually read, even if the subject matter was fodder for imbeciles. I was curious to see Tom's mistress. I didn't want to meet her, but I did. I went up to New York with Tom on the train one afternoon.